Hey there, team, and welcome to Helms Deep. And what is this? Windy Pops is on the defense. Yeah, very unusual for me to actually play defense, but I felt it's a 3v3 on Helms Deep, so I thought, yeah, let's go for it. It's not as much pressure as, say, a 3v2 or something of that nature, where the defenders are outnumbered, and I felt Helms Deep it makes sense. You know, we all know the layout of Helms Deep by this point, either from playing Reforged or, well, any other sorry, clear my throat there, any other Lord of the Rings media full stop. You know the layout of Helms Deep. So we have a long setup today. The deployment phase was quite a long time, so I'll just have a little gander around Helms Deep. So if this is the first time that I've played it since there have been these changes, the actual inside is where the final choke point is. I absolutely adore that. So we do see some of my units retreating back. Oh wow, oh my goodness. That is awesome that you've got this little section too. That's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, good, dearie me. I wonder if you could fight there too. There'd be no need for it because you just want to come up here and fight this way. But gosh, that's cool. You could get your boys gathered up there and blast them as they're running up this way. Dearie me. And that's another way to the final choke point. So you can't just clog up this one way with like Karis Galadhon, like Guardians or something like that, or the First Legion pikes, and just be like, no, you're not getting in, please. You do have another way in. Cool. So that's not you can't break that gate. That's not actually really there. You can walk through it. That's really awesome. I didn't even know that part. But yeah. Then also you've got this little back way in here inside these caves. It's meant to be a little cave. Yes. Good. Yep, we do have a ceiling above us, which is a good little position for the defenders just to hide some troops. Because it's a big issue on Helms Deep where, say, you'd have to put your whole army out in this area, and it's sort of the same vibe as Edoras. You're not safe from attack or arrow fire or anything like that. So you could pop your stuff here, but this starts to get really crowded. So as I say, just having this little area is nice, for me to hide some of my boys. Anyway, I'm playing as Rohan today. I actually quite like Rohan in Sieges. This is the first time I played them in the new patch, test patch at this time. So it was nice to sort of get a hold of them. A few units missing now that have been taken out, but for the most part, had all the tools I needed. Rohan, half decent armor. You know what? Pretty decent armor. Pretty damn good throwing weapons, and alright archers. So in terms of a siege scenario, I actually think Rohan can be quite good. The only thing that Rohan lacks is really, I guess, like the cheap numbers. Their units are really quite impressive, fine and dandy really, but just as I say, lesser in number or more expensive for what you're getting sometimes. But alongside Dale today, played by Hidden, and Ty's playing as Imladris, should be alright. And I'm actually making up the numbers today. I went really heavy into my infantry, got a lot of my Eastmark archers, Eastmark spearmen, where they are, they're somewhere, heaps and heaps of them, just to hold the line so that because Imladris, of course, they're never going to be bringing that many numbers, especially in a 3v3 siege. They're going to be somewhat limited, and Dale focusing into their ranged power an awful lot. Have we got... Oh, no, attacker's still deploying. Let me just sit here for a second while the attacker's finished deploying. There should be some links in the description if you want to jump ahead to the end of the deployment phase, or I'll just do the end of the deployment phase because I'm pretty sure we start fighting right away. So there'll only really be one timestamp in there. I won't bother about going through my army just yet because everything's jumbled up. I prefer to generally go through the attacking forces and then the defending forces. Come on, boys. What, you don't have that much to choose from. Just get yourselves deployed. Get us all lined up and get organized. So as well, at Helms Deep, we've got something new, which is this little section here. It's nice, gives the attackers a position to like hide some of their valuable units. So that, say, if we had like a trebuchet or something, we can't just dominate them right off the bat. We've got first attacker today is Gondor, played by Menace. So we do know where Gondor was, during all of the hilarity. They were actually attacking alongside the evil forces. So lots and lots of heavy armor, Gondorian infantry here alongside some Gondorian spearmen. Again, double armor upgrades for the boys. We've got the vanguard of King Elisar, these magical sword masters turning up today. Very badass boys there. Very sort of stands out really nicely with the general silver look across all of Gondor's roster. And then you have the vanguard of King Elisar as this really Numenorian look with that sort of dark black steel, or yeah, I would say dark grey steel and the gold and the red really sort of helps them pop out as clearly like, yeah, the descendants of Numenor. Whereas Gondor, I feel, kind of has its own vibe a bit. Anyway, Nimlothian Honor Guard there. Lots and lots and lots of infantry. As you kind of need for a siege, you really want to be able to give that grind. Peligar Marines and Citadel Guard, who are now javelin throwers as well, going to be very nasty. These armor upgraded axemen of Lasanak too, so Mudexa has gone heavy into the armor upgrades, which you'd always want to as Gondor, but there's not really any militia. There's like very little militia in his forces. He's got 2 of these veterans of Osgiliath, and I think you can now get gold armor upgrade for them. So used to just be the double, I believe, but now you can go all the way to 3 levels of armor upgrade, and they get these the wings on their helmet. So yeah, they are looking absolutely awesome. And yeah, definitely some nasty shots coming in, but some good melee focus after, and then more and more of this infantry. So Mudexa is really he's built his army around the grind, you know, which is what you want. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but just good. Reliable grinding Gondor army. And then he's got was this winter? No, that was winter over there. I'll call him for now. I cannot remember who this was. Shoot. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, his name is what it is. So he's got Isengard here. So he's got Uruk-hai infantry there. The Guards of Orthanc no longer bodyguard, but still just very sturdy grey armour, good for the grind. Everything else, Spearguard, no Dunlendings anymore for Isengard. They are solely for the Dunland roster at this time. But yeah, lots of crossbows. Archers there, sorry about that. Berserkers there now as well. The dreaded Isengard Ballista. Let me just take a shot here. I hopefully will grab one in a bit. But just as I say, in case I forget, Trolls of the White Hand and heaps of these pikes. Then his last, the last attacker is Mordor today. He's brought the drummers. Oh, okay. Because wait, what is this? Oh, wait a second. What is this? That's interesting. The halberds each have a drummer instead of one of the banner carriers. That's very cool. I like that vibe a lot. Is that alright, dope. Because right now, at time of recording, the drummers are actually broken. They'll cause risks to the game crashing right now. So I was a bit worried when I saw that, but that's very cool. I didn't realize that. Archers behind, and then the Temple Guard there. Over here, Uruk chieftains. Lots of this Uruk infantry was, Moron infantry is now Uruk infantry, still very much sort of similar vibe. Orc fodder there, of course. Some Morgul's chosen in the back. Blackguard of Barad-dûr, double Blackguard of Barad-dûr. Now that Umbar no longer has their high mass pushing unit, the Balakith shield bearers, my heart aches for them, but they are gone. The Blackguard are sort of back as being. I would say the best, maybe pushing. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, Wendy Pops, no, they're not the best because XYZ has more mass. And it's like, yes, I understand, but that doesn't, they're still a much smaller unit than the Blackguard of Barad-dûr. They might be 8 mass or 10 mass, whatever it might be, but, you've still got, the Blackguard of Barad-dûr still have like 200 boys. Anyway, sorry. We've got Imladris. What we decided was Tyes was going to be holding the centre here, with his very, very high quality Imladris forces, which is just going to allow the Humies over on the side to defend the big open space. So you can see Tyes has got his Gwathi Meridain. Again, that's a unit that's been changed now. They're no longer this. I'm trying to get a good shot of them. Sorry about this jumping. Yeah, now they've got those 2 hammers instead of one big one. But yeah, still very awesome looking, very Noel Doran in their style. Swords of Rivendell down here. So I'd say not actually too elite. Have we started? We have. We have started. Okay, let's go to 0.1 speed. So either way, lots of militia getting ready to hold this, but this is still armor upgraded Imladris militia, so that's going to be able to give just about everybody a run for their money. A lot more Swords of Rivendell there, actually. Nuritino warriors and the Blackshot Dragon Slayers, no longer with their sort of big old anime swords. They now wield these, you see these massive axes, so their belts are sort of, you know, that's when they do get a dragon down after filling it with arrows, they come over and they're able to properly hack it open its hide or cut a leg off here and there. Elder Emwing archers, of course. I've left some of my forces in reserve here right now. The River Patrol in with Hidden. So right now I've just left my Axemen, a Shield Maiden, and a Westmark Marshal are in here. So not too much, but those 3 units there just as a rear guard in case anything goes absolutely wild. Another archer. Nothing in at the back. Anything? And no, we do have a Swords of Rivendell just kept in reserve here for now. Nice and safe. Again, it's good to kind of have something hanging around just in case they pull some crazy maneuver and we lose the outer area immediately. Good to have something ready to hold them back a little bit longer. Ty's already sort of sending down these Nuritino warriors to grab, to back us up. I gave one of my Eastmark spearmen an armor upgrade. The other 2 unfortunately did not receive one. So yeah, these boys here, I think they're at like armor 5 when you give them that armor upgrade. Very fragile without it, but yeah, as I say, they're there to do what they got to do. They've got their jabs. My Westmark infantry, Riddermark axemen, lots of Dalian infantry from Hidden. Looks like they probably received that armor upgrade. Makes them pretty damn sturdy. Eastmark archers from myself. It's a bit of a blob here, but I'll sort of call it anything too crazy. I'm looking for, say, any elites we've got on the front lines. Not yet. Westmark spears. Of course, we're not putting anything on the wall, just because the enemy has a lot of artillery, and they're going to break that wall open very, very quickly. In the back lines, we do also have this Wind Lance. This is my first time seeing this. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous artillery piece, and it's a very cool concept for Dale to have. I do like unique artillery. Right now, I think the vibe with the Wind Lance is very much meant to be counter sniping enemy artillery. I think it's meant to be sort of the most accurate artillery piece in the game, but not really the most devastating in terms of actual, see the size of the projectile and everything like that. So let's say it's made to kill enemy arty. Got some Helmingus and a lot of these pikes from Hidden in the back. Pikes are something that I do not have. I've got some good spears, but I don't have pikes. Helmingus over on the side. And my elites tucked up in this corner. Some Shield Maidens and some Helms Hammers. I do also have my General with Medicilled Guard. He's being stored up on the top. Or not stored, but he's guarding right now up on the final area. I forgot to catch him, but he is in amongst all of these people. You're seeing a few of the Medicilled Guard, maybe. No, but they're there. They're there. No. Oh, Westmark infantry I kept up here too. So I do have quite a lot in reserve, so I'm going to need to move them down there once the enemy sort of starts to make contact properly. You can take a big old gulp of tea, so there'll be a little bit of silence. Nice. So, again, any sort of silence that may come by, I'm just taking a gulp of tea, usually. So we've got to deal with the Treb and the Ballista. Now, as I said, that Wind Lance is the god of counter battery fire. So we'll have to sort of see how it performs today. That's a bit nasty. Let's see, maybe just looking over the heads. This looks pretty nice. You can clearly see Isengard. As well, as much as I like Rohan in sieges, I mean, I kind of had to for Helms Deep. It felt like it's just what you gotta do. You gotta have at least one Isengard and one Rohan. We've got our Elven friends coming in to back us up as well, and some other Northmen coming to join. So it's somewhat thematic, and Gondor, I suppose Gondor's just coming to wreak some havoc. So there'll be a few little frame stutters. So this is something that, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So you saw, as accurate as that Wind Lance is with getting those strikes in, it's not a one-hit kill. Say if you hit this trebuchet with a catapult rock or a ballista strike, it would be an immediate gone. RIP. But the Wind Lance doesn't, it needs more than one hit to get you. Coming in. Oh, that's very cool. Wait a second. Has that always happened? Am I dumb? Well, probably, but I've never seen that before in my entire life. The ricochet. That's awesome. That's not always been the case. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, ballista cracking down this section of the wall. And as I say, if we had some people up there, they would just be dead right now. It's nice to hold the walls, but when the enemy has artillery, it's just like, my lord. You know, it's really, really rough sometimes. That's why I do sometimes favour sort of. I don't like to ban artillery, you know, but sometimes you can see the sense in it. I think if you're banning artillery, you have to give the attackers a good dollop of money more, you know, because if they've got to take the walls only by siege towers and ladders, then you know they gotta have the cash to do that, because it can be devastating. But here we're gonna get 2 holes busted in the wall. Sorry, I come in like crazy here. And then the ram from Winter is going to be moving up. So right now, generally, is looking like Winter is going to be trying to go for the keep, whereas then Isengard and Gondor are going to be going through the deeping wall to come at us. So it's going to be a bit daunting. Going to have a lot of focus here, but especially, you know, 3v3 is going to be a different sort of vibe. The attackers, of course, bringing a lot more quality than they may normally bring, but a lot less numbers to deal with. So we're not going to be seeing, maybe, we're not going to be seeing the defenders really racking up as massive a kill count as you would sometimes see. It's much more man-on-man kind of struggle, which, as I say, changes the game a bit. A little bit of fire from that Wind Lance. Is he holding it? He's holding it for now, or maybe just repositioning. Because he does have to worry about that ballista sniping at him. That ballista again is an absolute machine. The trebuchet is still standing. One of them has been brought down, but the other is still going. And they busted open that second hole. So it's going to be, yeah, as I say, two gaps. Just banged my desk. Hopefully the mic didn't shiver too much like that. Ballista now sort of rattling shots in, burning through Hidden's forces here. And you can see this is what you've got the issue with. Imagine if we had to have our entire army, our elites lined up around here. It would be frightening. So, got my boys set up. Again, kind of going for the strategy of letting them come in. The enemy has quite a lot of artillery. They've got a lot of crossbows. They've got just, yeah, a lot of nastiness. So I want to try and defend inside my wall, just so that if they try and, you know, set up their little skirmy boys here, the little snag of skirms chucking in, they're going to get hit by my Eastmark spears. Okay, that is what it is. You know, I'm fine with that if that's what you want to use your ammunition on. I don't want to say plug up the gap and they can get much better shots on say more valuable units. But you can see I'm going to be trying my best to be the fodder a little bit here. Because as I say, I've got the numbers. Again, burning through my Eastmark archers, I'm totally fine with. Burning through my Eastmark spears, again, okay. You know, I prefer you're doing that rather than you know, something else. Something a bit more valuable to me. I'm opening up not on the fodder. I was shooting into a little bit of archers. No, there is. The Baneguard were my target. That was something that I was keen for. They're not armor upgraded, those Baneguards, so they will go down pretty quick, and they're quite valuable to the attacking forces. So I felt like that's probably a worthwhile target. Let's go 0.8 just to make sure that I don't sort of miss the action going on right now. Nuratino warriors from Ties, as I say, just coming over helping us out. That's very nice of them. And right now, although the Gondorian forces are going to be a lot more valuable than their orc friends, maybe, and most of their Uruk friends, or Urukai friends from Isengard, I still just don't want to be blasting away at them. I want to, I prefer to shoot at the orcs and Uruks just because I'm getting so much more for my money. I'm just gonna have to wait for, you know, some good AP damage, get my Helms hammer stuck into those Gondorians and have a good time. So because we're not really contesting the walls, that's going to allow Medexa to just roll up and take them, get some troops set up there. Firing in some shots. I'm going into these Uruk-hai archers here. It's very unlike me to sort of shoot enemy archers. I wasn't going to give many volleys at them, but I just wanted to sort of inflict some casualties, kind of get the attackers a little bit like, okay. You know, it's all about kind of, for me anyway, it's all about just making your enemy feel a little bit less comfortable about their situation. So if I'm inflicting a few casualties here and there, it just lets him know that, you know, he doesn't like to stand where he's standing. Keeps his brain focused on other things. So they've busted open the gate now too, so they've got 3 entrances. The keep is of course not really a very nice place to be entering, especially you come in there, you can get blasted down from the top, you're sort of totally surrounded. Reinforcements are quite, you know, they've got a long way to come, so your back is a little bit exposed. And it can be, as it can be pretty scary. We have, yeah, so the siege tower is getting set up here and there. It'd be kind of interesting to actually try and destroy a siege tower at the right moment with that. Oh, they're even going to do it themselves. I didn't actually notice that. Oh dear, if I was Medexa, I would have freaked out. That was quite a nasty amount of damage there from that, and that was a ballista. Ballista must have been trying to shoot down this wall or something. I don't know what it was trying to do there. Dear me, that's actually a few casualties though. So you see Isengard's gearing up to advance. Now that we're not as worried, we're going to be getting some people set up on the walls. You can see I was trying my best to actually get somebody on this wall, but I was struggling with it. So I've luckily, the headman's just going to do that for me, and I'll focus on this section here. Got a little javelin volley right into the face of those Uruk-hai infantry. Not really what I want, but at the same time, I need to get these Eastmark spears involved in the fight. So I'm kind of not letting them pick the best targets. It's a very low damage javelin, and I don't have many of them. They're not really a javelin unit. They're just they just have a few little jabs to throw before they engage the enemy, which is nice. But it still is AP. All javelins. Oh, sure, yo. Hey, that's a lot more damaging than my javelin, though, I will say that. But we've got these guys pretty well surrounded. A lot of burning damage from that wind lance. Not ballista, wind lance. Over here, Medexa just chilling. Medexa shooting in with his archers. What's he going for? Is he going for? You'd be tempted to maybe go for wind lance. I think that's what he is. No, maybe not. No, I think he's just going for, these River Patrol. Yeah, trying to get them dealt with, which is a fair enough thing. River Patrol, they didn't always have shields, did they? Or am I silly? I don't think the River Patrol always had shields. So that's kind of cool. Gives them a lot more sort of resilience to enemy fire then. Even if it's a small shield value, it's something. So this is what a better sort of hit for my boys. Actually, no, it's not. No, because I'm getting their left side. I don't know why I was so driven to get them on this side. I think my brain was kind of confusing the shield situation, and I was like, no, I've got to get them over on this side so that I can avoid the shield. And yeah, it's not really worked out. So even though I've got that AP, they're still Uruk-hai infantry. They ain't going down easy. So it's kind of pretty resilient to that. You see these guys though, they've climbed down from the wall, and they're going to be engaging us in the flank like that. It's a bit nasty. Let's zoom into the mini-map so you get a decent idea of what's going on. I'd say a bit difficult, but right now my Riddermark Axemen are in there. We've still got a lot of focus around us, but they are pouring people down that stairwell to get at us. We're shooting them as they're trying to come down, getting some shots into them, but they are absolutely filling this out, and we need a little bit more support there to shore that up. So you see me trying to get my Eastmark spears, get their javelins used up, so that I can get them stuck in to plug those gaps. Again, right now still just Gondor using it as ammunition, just sort of staring us down a bit, as Isengard really is getting stuck in properly. That wind lance still getting the occasional blast in, sort of shooting, as I say, very accurately into these positions. And over here as well, Winter looks like he's trying to do, yeah, same thing I would want to do, really. You know, get my orc javelins in there.
The enemy siege tower has reached our walls.
Get that ammunition used up. because that's, well, hell, you paid for it, you gotta use it. And up against these elves, you definitely want to whittle some of them down with that javelin fire. Mordor's going to have a bit of trouble sort of breaching through that sort of quality, but with the halberds in there, with all the Uruk-hai infantry, it's a lot of numbers, and as long as they fight to the end or fight to quite small unit sizes, then it should be cost effective, should get some good work done. But still, arrow fire coming in from ties just into this blob. Still, all my javelins have been poured into these Uruk-hai infantry, and again, it's just kind of showing the real rigidity, the real power of the Uruk-hai, that they've been able to take that immense beating, and they're still here. I think that's the break now, though. No, they've been pulled back. That wasn't a break. They were pulled back from that. I tried to give a little bit of a chase, just make sure we're grabbing a few more of them, maybe getting a little bit of a break here and there. As my Westmark spearmen and this unit of Eastmark spears, out of ammunition, come on forward. Goodness sake, again, all of that fire ammunition pouring into this little force. And yeah, they're getting those shields in play against that ammunition, but that is so much fire, and it is close range, accurate fire from pretty good sources. Nuretino and the Barding Marksman unloading into that. So we were caught a little bit off guard by Medex's rush here. You can see he's really pushed in pretty deep. I got my Eastmark spears sorting them out a little bit, or at least keeping them in check. I think I got my ammunition used up. Oh, almost all. Like, you're seeing a few more javelins coming in, but I'm getting my javelin assistance from the river patrol behind us. Riddermark Axemen coming forward, but this is really not how we wanted to get these guys bottled up. Medex has spread himself out very, very nicely. Issue with that for Modexa is it's much more likely for these guys to end up breaking, which would be super. Any of these Gondorians that we do actually end up causing a break to will just be fantastic if we can grab a few of them. See those Gondorian archers getting slammed on in now. Looks like there's a little bit of a graphical issue with them right now. That's just because they, instead of, say, when they're out of ammunition, putting their bows away, the Gondorian archers actually keep their bow in their hand, in their offhand, which I think is a really cool little quirk about them. But I think there's maybe a little graphical issue with that at this time. But still, they'll be coming in, they'll be doing some good work, and with those armor upgrades, they'll take a long time to go down. So we're now switching our arrows toward the Gondorians, away from the Isengard forces. I say we're getting some frame stutters, but that is just due to the mass death right now. All of the hits that are going in. So it looks like Winter is still he's holding a bit, but yeah, I mean this is what I would be tempted to do. You know, you're going to be able to get a much better use of your troops over here, so why not send them over this way instead of sort of slamming in through the center, especially with the likes of the Blackguard. So they've pierced in deep there, almost gotten this line broken. But luckily, yeah, we've got some Dalian infantry there to once again block it up. We need something more though, because those Blackguard of Barad-dûr are continuing to smack around our troops. Over here, yeah, sliding around those Gondorian infantry, or getting around my Eastmark spears, but it's our Gondorian archers. But we're pouring arrow fire into them. I think my Helms hammers. No, they're not in play yet, but I will be sending them forward shortly. Yep, you can see I've got all of my reserves from inside here, apart from one unit of archers there. No, this is where I put my Medicelled guard. Okay, cool. No, got him a little bit closer to the fight, alongside this unit of Helmingus. But yeah, got my Helms hammers rushing on forward. Originally I was going to slide them into this force to sort of deal with the Blackguard of Barad-dûr push there, but I do end up switching their focus over toward the Gondorians in a moment. Shield Maidens as well. Don't really want to use their axes up against the Gondorians, but it is still, even though it's not EP, it is still a very high damage attack. So I just need to get ammunition into these Gondorians, because as I say, the way they've spread around there is a little bit unpleasant for me. And again, maybe I shouldn't go into the likes of the Gondorian archers. That was probably just a bit of panic from me, or just a need to kind of use up this ammunition so that I could get those shield maidens in the fight. Shield Maiden's really not too bad in melee, and I do tend to give them a melee upgrade anyway, so it lifts them up to I think about either 8 or 9 damage. which I just feel allows them to really go toe-to-toe with some decent quality units. So I do tend to give that to them. Hell, it's only 25 points. Now, that was a nice break there. That was about 90 of the Menace Morgul Chosen getting busted up there. Sorry about the blooming... Yeah, there's a lot of stuttering going on. That is again, just solely because of the intensity of the fighting here. There is a hell of a lot going on. This was a very, very aggressive attack from the boys, but we've chased them back. Again, a lot of these Mordor forces broken primarily by the Wind Lance, just ripping through them with that fire. But yep, we've fended off that first assault, and most of those guys will return. That's it. You got to keep in mind a lot of those Uruk-hai are going to be coming back. The Olog-hai making their way around. Winter still standing his guard there. Uruk captain, or sorry, Uruk chieftains, not Uruk captains anymore. Uruk chieftains waiting. Halberds arriving now too. So you can see Winter is putting more and more of his focus on the Deeping Wall, just kind of staring down Imladris, which is going to mean Imladris can start moving more and more of their resources over here to support us in our struggles. Which, if they think they've been having some trouble up against these Dalians and the Rohirrim, you know, they're going to be in a really tough spot when they start facing up against the true might of the Imladris Elves. You can see, yeah, over here, there was actually one Helms Hammer we were seeing involved in the crowd there, but the rest have arrived now to go toe-to-toe with the vanguard of King Elisar. So that's where I ended up trying to use my last few axes on, in that vanguard, which again, his heavy, heavy armour is going to shrug off a lot of that damage, but hopefully I can do just a little bit more to it. Over here on the right flank, the Dalian Royal Guard are actually getting involved to plug that gap for us, as my Shield Maidens are trying to hold back this Axemen of Losanak group. I love the Rohirrim look. I really think that it's just something that really speaks to me. This, you know, this very sort of Anglo-Saxon. I know I shouldn't care for the Anglo-Saxon look. Very, very biased I should be. But no, the Rohirrim pull it off so well. I think they look great with it. But they're up and just sort of continue to tear down these Axemen. Over here, the continued fire from the Barding Marksmen. Into the left side of those spearmen and so on, they'll be able to shrug that off. Any friendly fire is going to be pretty devastating because it's hitting the right side of those Dalian infantry. But those Dalian infantry, they've just got to hold the line, I mean, for as long as they can. It's not really about them getting kills here. It's just about them keeping these forces from flooding down and striking the backs of our lines. The Trebuchet team there getting involved. Nice. Olog-hai have arrived. Issue is, at this time, we don't really have... Oh, we do. Right. We were saying, because we were all, of course, in voice chat at this time, and we were worried that we didn't actually have anything to deal with those Olog-hai. But the Dalian Paladins have just turned up. And those Dalian Paladins would love to get mixing it up with some Olog-hai. So you can see I've been pulling down my forces from the keep. This fresh unit of Shield Maidens have been pouring their ammunition into the Olog-hai, getting those axes involved. You're seeing more and more elves coming down from the keep now, as my Westmark spears get thrown on into the fight. Goodness me, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, maybe, I mean, if I go back, I would have maybe turned off shadows or something like that. But I really don't know if that would have done too much. I think it is just the amount of death that is occurring here is something absolutely crazy. You're seeing, yep, Shield Maiden still got some ammunition to spend. Maybe, can we get... I'll take a quick shot just in case the others don't really look too great. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Ooh. You can tell that that's Helms Deep. Maybe. We'll see. And then one more for the boys. Nah. We're good. I'm sure one of the shots we've taken look pretty great. Citadel Guard over here, incredibly well armoured, shielded javelin unit, is going to really change the game for Gondor and sieges. I think that it's something that I've always really enjoyed Gondor and sieges. What is this? Oh, the Northmen Honor Guard have white capes now. Goodness, they do look scary, don't they? So they do have a new model. Yeah, looking absolutely great. Real stunning boys there. Good stuff. But let's see, the Citadel Guard because they always had the Pelargor Marines, which were great. But Pelargor Marines, they're not incredibly well armoured. Their shield is quite small. So, yeah, not top tier. But the Citadel Guard, being really quite well armoured, having that shield, which I'm pretty sure is much more impressive than the Pelargor Marine shield, and then of course having the AP spear after they've used up their ammunition. Holy smokes, it's going to be a lot. Maybe they can even use shield wall probably to push in. So they're just a perfect siege unit, I'd say. So let's just find a nice spot to watch for a minute. You're seeing that the Olokai continuing to batter into our lines, having a bit of trouble doing it. We're holding not too bad, but the Olokai, of course, inflicting a lot of casualties on our troops. My Westmark Marshals are set up there. I've stretched them out, but I really need to launch them into the fight, because once again, even though they're not bodyguards, of course, the Westmark Marshals, they're really quite good, and they're a big shot AP, which should be able to do some good work up against the Olokai. So are we connecting? No, it looks like Winter is maybe about to make his attack here, because you're seeing Ties has just been able to move more and more troops over, which is just a big problem for the attackers down here. You know, they were able to sort of keep our humans in check, but these elves are a bit of a nuisance. So we've got a little breach there on the side there that my Helms hammers have finally fallen, so I moved up my Medicelled Guard. I wanted to use up my ammunition for them, but I've not been able to do that. He's broken through. And I thought he just broke through with like a random dude. No, he broke through with the Nimlothian Honor Guard and Citadel Guard. So I've got to just take that fight. I've either got to run and leave everything open to these guys running riot inside our walls, or take the fight for a while. So these Medicelled Guard have a lot of ammunition left I've not been able to use. I really would want to get my ammunition into the Honor Guard, but I'm not going to be able to do that right now. So I've just got to take that fight. A few of those little graphical things, again, I think that's just a few archers here and there. I think that's just sort of the way their bow is looking right now. Barding Marksman coming up. Let me just check something. Yeah, you know, we're good. Over here, yeah, the Gondorians have really ripped this open now, and I'm not able to squish them back. Swords of Rivendell again come over to help us out. Pelargor Marines standing in the back there. Shield Maidens. Surely out of ammunition. Yeah, okay, no, I was just repositioning them. I want to come in and sort of fill this gap, keep that blocked up. Arrow fire trying to hit the backs of those Nimlothian Honor Guard. Goodness me. As much as I love the Medicelled Guard, this is a tough fight for them. You know, they really are a unit that I adore. The javelins are great. I think they look awesome. You know, I love that some of them use swords and some of them use axes. It's a cool unit for me. So I've actually pulled some of these troops out now. These actually were my last remaining reserves. Yeah, that's what these guys were. The Riddermark Axemen and the Westmark Infantry are my last remaining reserves. So I've got them coming on over here. Whoa, dearie me. As I say, I think, yeah, I don't know what's quite causing that, but yeah. Got them running on over here just to try and keep this in check. Because those Blackguard Barad-dûr are coming in, you're seeing all the damage that they're doing. Everybody, they're just yeeting around. But just in time, I've got the Westmark Infantry and these Riddermark Axemen arriving, so we can shore up that line. Pushes are awesome, but if you can counter it, if you can block it nicely, then you can really make the enemy have just inflicted a lot of damage on themselves without really gaining much from it. Still though, that's really hurt our line. It's a bit nasty, and they've got this little bulge which we need to shut down as quick as we can, or at least fill with our guys. You can see, it's still standing. How's this position? Yeah, you can see from the mini-map that there's still a lot of Gondorians mixed in amongst this. Got our Dalian Paladins, got some pikes, got some halberds mixed in amongst this. Not really any Rohirrim over here, maybe a little handful of them. A few Westmark Infantry that maybe jumped in here instead. My Westmark Marshals are engaging. Those pikemen though, those pikemen arriving, but that Windlance is still ripping through them. Maybe getting the occasional kill to a troll too, which would be absolutely terrible for him. Well, great for us, but terrible for the enemy. few reserves. Trolls coming in now. Trolls staying back away from any fire from... Oh, this is where the general is. General alerts himself by the looks of things. He's popped in with the trolls, so he'll be gaining a lot of power from that by being inside the same unit as the trolls. But it's just not really... I don't know. It's not something I like to do. But if you're intending to save him for a late point like this, when most of the army is either gone or it's just your elites left, then yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea, because you've basically gotten half a troll in addition. Because he'll have a hell of a lot of hit points. He'll basically have the maximum hit points for a general, which I don't know what is. He'll have some AP, he'll have good attack stats, yeah, he'll be a menace. And he'll be person-sized as well. That's something you got to keep in mind. He's not got that big model where it's like 4 or 5 guys can be hitting him at once. You know, he's a normal dude size. So yeah, he can do some good work. One of my... What's going on here? I've got a Riddermark Axeman bolting out. Why did I do this? Yeah, both of them are here. Very strange. I don't remember doing this. Chasing away the trolls. Get out of here. They thought about it. Those trolls thought about it, but then they saw these 2 axemen. They were like, nah, ain't happening today, boys. No, I don't even remember doing this. I played this game like 2 weeks ago. What's going on? Well, no, not 2 weeks. I played this game 2 days ago. But no, I'm just getting stuck in with the crossbowmen. Alright, super. Get some work done, boys. Oh no! Man down. I think the crossbows are actually quite good in melee now. You can see that they no longer take out swords. They use this like bayonet. It's like an axe blade on the underside of their crossbow, which is absolutely frightening. Yeah. So I think that they're quite decent in melee. Not amazing, but decent. So that was enough to bring down my boys. And they will do some damage to us in melee later on when they actually get thrusted in. You're seeing, yeah, they're continuing on with the damage to us here. What do we... I've got nothing more in reserve. Everything I've got is engaged at this point. Or, actually, no, that's a lie. These Helmingists are still kicking about. Athala Rangers here, out of ammunition. Sort of, you know, they've gotten themselves a horse now. They're not body piercing. I don't believe they're body piercing. So they are just, but still quite a nasty to have, say, a mounted unit with this, they can pump out as much damage as a ranger. So you can see they are flooding in properly now. Trebuchet team coming in to try and deal with the Windlance team. Windlance team getting pulled back, does not want that fight. There was a lot of jokes from Medexa to see if he could just try and get on the Windlance, because he does have his, you know, it's this Trebuchet team that ended up taking it. Sure, they've got the technical skill, no doubt, to at least try and learn. Seeing the push on the left there, led by the veterans of Osgiliath, coming around, and Trolls the White Hand still just ripping through this. The Royal Guard will do their best to hold the line. They'll inflict a good bit of damage on the Trolls. Those Trolls of the White Hand, again, especially with the General among them, it's going to be too much. Still got some Shield Maidens there. That's one Shield Maiden remaining. If I'd noticed that, I would have maybe tried to slip that one unit of her out, but no, she doesn't. One of her sisters have perished there. She doesn't want to flee from that fight. Snaga being sent on into melee now, just again for the grind. It's for the greater good, lads, come on. Trebuchet team, a few stragglers there coming up. Helmingists engaging. There's still one Oleg high, so you can see how sturdy those boys have been. With all my axes poured in, the Dalian Paladins hammering for ages. They've really held their time. Windlance crew again just sort of running away, not really wanting to get lost. They're very valuable. They're very intelligent boys. They can't just go throwing away their lives willy-nilly. We do have a push now. Now, of course, this is not really where the attackers are going to be getting through, but this is solely just to make sure that Ties can't move his troops elsewhere. Getting those halberds in, grinding in, doing damage. You know, of course, they'll be getting a good few kills up against the likes of these Swords of Rivendell. These Spears of Rivendell, I don't think anything's changed with them in the new version. I think that they are still, you know, basically halberds. You know, shorter range than pike, but armor piercing to them. So they'll be able to hold not too bad, and especially with the firepower coming in from just up here. May not be able to get a wind lance into this area, but you've still got some great positions to fire away at the enemy from. 2 entrances into this keep as well now, so you can come down from the top here or move in from the bottom. No longer just there. Or also you can come in through this little avenue, pop out there, and then jump down. So you do have quite a lot of routes into the keep if you do manage to take the deeping wall section. I think if I was fighting and I lost the deeping wall, I'd really want to fall back to the inner walls, or considering you can also lose this section, maybe even all the way to the centre, depending on how many troops I had left and what I was able to sort of secure up. Temple Guard over here, running on up. They've still got ammunition, which I always like to take walls, and that's what he's doing. I like that a lot. So I will be pouring my shots onto him. You better believe it. Again, that one remaining Olokai still standing, as the Dalian Paladins are trying their best to crack into him. Last surviving Gondorians almost sort of surrounding me, but luckily the Elder Emway archers came on in to save the day. Have we got the council? Have I formed the council yet? No, not yet, not yet. Got my general's still kicking. Got my general and his 2 friends there. 1 javelin and 1 banner carrier. So I have just kind of been trying to move around, get this guy to use his full unit's worth of ammunition. Helmingus as well, they're just rattling shots in. But yeah, I'm basically, you know, I'm very much on my last legs. I do not have much remaining now. Crossbow team getting sent on into the fight again. You know, they're not like they used to be. They do have a much more impressive melee ability. So they'll be able to do a bit of a grind up against those barding marksmen. Maybe even, if it wasn't for the paladins, maybe even claim some victory in that section of the field. Elmingus still kicking. Still a few of the boys there too. What was that? No, I thought there was a Medicelled guard for a second, but no, it's just 3 of them. They're all together. Just a half-orc there. Very short half-orc. Yeah, very, very little squat half-orc. I know I've got the height advantage on him, but yeah, he doesn't look very big. But yeah, hacking and smacking this boy down. And nothing really here to deal with those trolls, though, is the problem. So those trolls are going to still be happily just smacking away at us for some time. We don't really have AP or like an exceptional unit to finish them off. Over here, though, this position is just about sorted. The Elder Enway, not Elder Enway, well, yeah, some Elder Enway, but I mean the Imladris forces in general, showing their worth. The Gwathi Arthan there, another unit that does, they look a bit different now. They've got that, they've got the Gwathi Meridain look to them as well, this very Noldoran style. But still being these just exceptional spear and shield troops. Great armor, great just abilities overall. And that is that for the push on the keep once we get that mopped up. Dragon shots coming over. The council is still not formed. When do I form the council? Must be coming up. Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing the council members coming down now. Don't worry. We'll see that later. We do have one of the generals. Good, that's a Gondorian general. And his honor guard is not going to go anytime soon. Neither, I don't think the veterans will go either. I think that they're all going to be kicking about for some time. But the Gwathi Meridain are here. And with that AP, with that exceptional armor, yeah, okay, that's what we need. I see. Oh, I wonder if it was her. I wonder, yeah, because, I mean, she came from all the way over there, and I didn't have the other unit involved, so that must have been her. That's another council member coming over. I'd like to think that she had managed to fight her way all the way over there to the right. But either way, she has managed to exit that attack to come and join the forming council. Swords of Rivendell getting their way on over. A few Westmark marshals. See, I had so many units that were just barely standing, just with about, you know, 2, 3, 1 guy left. You know, it's absolutely crazy. The amount of sort of death that I was going through in this sort of very chaotic brawl. Okay, no, a few council members have gathered up. A few more of them still running on down. You see Ty is coming in to sort of help us finish this off. The brave Windlance team moving in to retake their artillery piece after pulling back. And all of these elves, the unarm upgraded? Yeah, unarm upgraded Godhillian making their way down too. We're at 1 time speed, we should be okay now. There's still some surviving Mordor forces, these Saurons, well, trying to do their best. A few Morgul's Chosen and Uruk chieftains as well. So Jormungandil running back. Don't have anything there, and it's nice that your guys retreat to this position. It's quite cool, just to see them sort of gathered up there. There we go. Okay, the council has almost formed, and as I say, the only reason I sort of did this was one, because I thought it looked kind of funny, but also just to kind of show how many guys I had left to 1 man in their unit. 1 Eastmark archer, 1 Eastmark spear, 1 Riddermark axeman, 1 shield maiden, 1 infantryman. And so yeah, all of these individual units at 1. Now this guy will be able to join the council later on as well. Helmingus coming over to stand in the centre. It's yeah, it was quite cool. It was nice to be able to sort of have those guys like mucking around. It's something I really want to do at some point. I'd love to try and do a fight on like small unit scale. You know, like I would need a map that I think works great for it. But like say small unit scale, and we try and do something really quite elite, I guess, or yeah, maybe like a siege where the point where like the walls have already fallen, so we're in small unit scale and we're just fighting inside the town. We're like a stage of the siege. You know, as I say, the walls have fallen and we're just battling in the streets on the way to the citadel with, yeah. But I don't know, it would be, I've always sort of wanted to mess around with small unit scale and see what we could do. Firepower coming from the Godhillian. I thought these guys were out of ammunition, but no, they're not. Oh yeah, I like that. It was everybody, it was the hype. This guy just had a lot of hype men. You know, he's no longer just got the general, and he's got everybody. Shield Maiden be able to sort of judge his aim as he tries to lash out his javelins.
We will smash the enemy.
But no. So definitely some of the worst sort of like suffering my boys have gone through. But I was glad to have a few of the survivors still kicking. I'd say it was a damn enjoyable one. I think we had a lot of discussion during the fight. You know, mainly regarding the windlass. Windlance. Not the windlass. Yeah, the Windlance got a lot of kills for us. It really, really did some good work. You know, I'd say you can have your various arguments regarding regarding what it did, but no, I think we had some thoughts. But still, I really enjoyed it. It was my first time playing on Helms Deep since first time with this new Helms Deep. First time playing as Rohan in the new patch as well, so I kind of wanted to show that off and sort of have a look and see what we did. I'd probably turn off. I think my next Helms Deep one, I'm going to turn off shadows just because that got very framey for a little bit of that. Just too much killing going on. So I need to maybe chill with that. But no, still had a pretty damn good time, I think. Very, very grateful for Ties and Hidden sort of carrying me through that as well, because as I said, I'm not a great defender. I like to think I'm quite a good attacker, but I'm not a great defender. So it was great to have the boys there to sort of just keep me right. And
this is a clear victory.
This was the one thing. So the guy announced the victory. There's still a troll left. What happened here? And he still survives until the very end. Why did that happen? You know, it's like I don't get that. Was there even? Yeah, it's like because he's broken over here, but yeah. So I don't know why did the game end there? So it says I've got 480, but that's because people have come back from being dead. I really did not have that much left in the fight. Medical Guard there, yeah, of course, is down to 3 men. A few guys just sort of scrapping away. What was really doing some good kills for me? The Medical Guard could have gotten a lot more kills, but they were just got jammed up against the Honor Guard for a lot of that fight. Helms Hammers, yeah, I mean, again, they were fighting. Oh, the King Elsar's Vanguard. That was the problem. They were going toe to toe with the Vanguard. That's why. I was quite surprised about this unit of spears. This must have gotten like absolutely rattled. You see a lot of them did come back, so they must have been shot up perhaps. But still, the other two doing all right. Like they're my militia spears. I know they put out like 2 javelins at the start, so they do some good damage there. But apart from that, they're really just there to hold the line and kind of just die standing. Westmark infantry, yeah, again, just trying to do their work. Spearmen there, 192 from one of those spearmen. That's quite nice. Axemen there, 216. And, sorry, that was the Shield Maidens. Yeah, 242 is very nice from one of those. But the real stars of the show being my Eastmark archers. Again, I think it's just because of the way that the Deeping Wall section is designed. You can get great accurate fire, close range fire, right into these blobs. And even if you're shooting shields, it doesn't really matter. If you're putting enough shots into them, they're going to go down. And so that's where these sort of lower tier archers really shine. And I think, yeah, they did great there. I think maybe Hidden will be able to correct me. It was from some time ago, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned it was 700 kills from the Wind Lance. So that was, some damn good work. But no, cool. Thank you guys very much. That was, it was a lot of fun, as they always are. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.